Hey everyone, so a bit of a different type of video. I've gotten some comments and questions about my desk setup, so I thought I'd make a dedicated video going over everything I use in my software developer desk layout setup. Also, I'm not affiliated with any of these products, so you can rest assured on that I'm not trying to shill you something. First, the main piece of the desk setup is obviously the desk. I have the Smartdesk Core standing desk from Autonomous AI. It's an absolutely fantastic desk. I've had it for about 2 years now. It's got a ton of open desk space, and it's also nice having the option to switch to a standing mode, which makes me get a renewed sense of productivity. The standing functionality does get a little bit complicated in terms of wire management, but I'll mention that in a bit. Next, I have two Asus 23.8-inch 144Hz monitors held by a Vivo monitor desk mount stand. After years and years of having two 60Hz different sized monitors on stands taking up desk space, it was so nice to finally upgrade. I didn't think I'd notice a difference between the refresh rates, but honestly, once you see 120Hz or 144Hz, it's hard to go back to 60Hz, especially when it comes to playing video games. Also, the monitor arm frees up a lot of desk space and ultimately just gives a much cleaner and minimalistic look that I like. For my peripherals, I have the Iqnix F97 Hitchhiker keyboard. This is easily the best keyboard I've ever owned. I got the non-backlit option with Cherry MX Brown switches. It has PBT keycaps, which I think is the higher quality plastic, and they feel absolutely amazing to type on. It has an aluminum base, so it feels really hefty and quality. The space design and color scheme is also just really cool. I know this sounds like an ad, but I promise it's not. I'm just really happy with the keyboard, so if you are in the market for a new mechanical keyboard, it is a little bit pricey, but definitely check out Iqnix. With the keyboard, I use a Razer wrest. Try to say that 5 times fast. It's starting to peel a little bit, but it helps a ton with typing fatigue, and it keeps my hands at an ergonomic angle. For my mouse, I'm using the wireless Razer X Basilisk. Overall, a pretty basic but nice form-fitting wireless mouse. I think the way a mouse fits in your hand and grip is really important if you're going to be using it a lot, so this layout and form from the Razer Basilisk is pretty great, and my hand never really gets tired from gripping it. With that, I'm also just using a black SteelSeries mousepad. Nothing too special about it. It does the job. For audio, I have some random Logitech speakers that I bought in college. I don't like to wear headphones or earbuds for too long because they start to hurt my ears. I also don't want to get the head divot from headphones. I don't really know if that's real, but still it kind of hurts my ears. So dedicated speakers definitely help with that. It's also nice if I'm watching a movie or something. When I want to use headphones, I usually just plug them directly into my microphone. Now for my microphone, I have the Blue Yeti USB mic. It's absolutely fantastic, and that's what I'm using to record this voiceover. It's a really great plug and play recording microphone, and I always get compliments on the audio quality. For videos, I do some post-processing in Audacity, but as a base, it has a really great sound. I also bought this little foam cover that makes everything a bit softer. I also get some questions on the camera I use for videos. It's not on my desk at the moment, but I use the Sony ZV-1. It's a really great and easy to use content creation video camera. I wouldn't suggest it for taking photos because you can't really change the lens. I'm not really into cameras, so this was a great option for me that had everything in one for great quality video without complexity. The chair I use is just an ergonomic nylon chair I got on Amazon. I mean, it's fine, nothing too crazy or special about it. It's not like an amazing Herman Miller chair or something. I do like that it doesn't get sweaty like some of the other leather chairs I've used before. And lastly, before I get to some of the complexities of the cable management, since I use this desk both for work and personally, is my PC. I made a whole dedicated video on my PC specs and building it if you're interested, but here are the specs again. For my CPU, I'm using an AMD Ryzen 5 3600. For my CPU cooler, I'm using a Corsair H100i RGB Platinum liquid cooler. For the motherboard, I'm using a Gigabyte B450 Aorus M Micro ATX motherboard, and I wanted a little bit smaller, more form factor build, which is why I went for a Micro ATX motherboard size. For the RAM, I'm using Corsair Vengeance RGB Pro 16GB DDR4s. For the storage, I'm using a Western Digital Blue 500GB M.2 SSD, as well as an additional Western Digital hard drive and a Samsung SSD. For the video card, I'm using an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 2060 Super. My case is the Corsair Crystal 280X RGB micro ATX case. And for the power supply, I'm using an EVGA Supernova G3 750 watt. For pure software development, you probably don't need anything this powerful, but I also wanted good gaming and video editing performance. Now for this hectic mess of cables. I work full-time and mostly from home, so I need this setup to be able to transfer between machines. So most of the peripherals are plugged into this Lenovo docking station. I then can plug this station into either my personal PC or my work laptop and can then easily use my keyboard or mouse with whichever. I also have two HDMI switches that connect to my monitors. When I plug my work laptop in with this cable, I also flick these two HDMI switches so that the HDMI source is now the work laptop. But if I click them again, the source goes back to being my graphics card in my personal PC. So it's a little bit of a complicated setup. So with all of these switches and cables, the cable management starts to get a little bit messy. And since this desk is also a standing desk, I need to make sure that there is enough slack on the wires to be extended to standing mode. So I can't just zip tie everything into a big clump. So I tried to zip tie most of the wires to under the desk frame. Additionally, I mounted this extension cord to the wall, otherwise the cables would hang when the desk was in standing mode because the monitor cables weren't long enough. I could probably make it a bit cleaner, but I think I'm happy with it so far. So that's basically my whole desk setup. I hope you liked the video and maybe found some products that you might want to buy or might be useful. My name is Michael. We do bad British accents at the end of every video. Check out one of my past videos and my past self would thank you dearly. Check out one of my future videos and my future self would also thank you dearly. We make college advice, career advice, tech, computer science, game development type videos on this channel. If any of that sounds interesting, consider subscribing and liking this video to help your boy out with the notorious YouTube algorithm. If you have any suggestions for my desk setup, please comment them down below, or any suggestions for future videos you might want to see or that might be helpful. That's all for me. Hopefully I see you in another one. Bye-bye.